Biscuit Company, Flame Oil, and SP Brewery.
The TVWAN News is proudly brought to you by BSP, our bank, our people.
Hello and welcome. This is TVWAN News. I'm Maricela Kelleton. In this edition, Prime Minister jets off to Korea, inquiry into election spending, and Morbe claims top performance award. Prime Minister and Foreign Affairs Minister James Marape says he will continue to champion the cause of the smaller Pacific Island countries. He said this after meeting with 3 Pacific leaders in Port Moresby recently during a busy day of bilateral meetings following the Forum for India-Pacific Islands Cooperation or FIPIC Summit last Monday, May 22nd.
It is blessed with abundance of land and natural resources, and I am duty-bound to advocate on behalf of my Pacific brothers and sisters on certain issues of interest that are affecting them. These are the remarks made by Prime Minister James Marape when he met with Marshall Island Foreign Affairs and Trade Minister Kitlen Kabua, Tuvalu Prime Minister Kausea Natano, and Palau President Surengei Vips. Marape told the leaders that climate change is the single greatest threat to our Pacific, and the onus is on them to collectively act now as one voice to preserve our people, their culture and land from its devastating effects. PM Marape reminded the leaders that his first international engagement when elected as the Prime Minister in 2019 during the Pacific Islands Forum in Tuvalu was bringing forward an initiative and solution to address climate variations for low-lying islands, especially through land reclamation. He said the global community must take heed of this pathway he was embarking upon for the preservation of environment in the Blue Pacific. The Prime Minister stressed that despite the size of Pacific countries, there is strength in numbers and great potential in our national assets such as our vast open skies, oceans and forests that have been used for business, commerce and trade, which has contributed to our livelihood. Freddie Moe, TVWAN News.
A state team comprising of relevant government officers will soon be dispatched to the PNG University of Technology to explain further the details of the recently signed defense cooperation agreement between PNG and the United States. Prime Minister James Marape told the Morbe Provincial Assembly recently whilst receiving a petition from UOT students handed through Morbe Governor Luther Wenge. The team will comprise the State Solicitor, Defense Secretary and the Foreign Affairs Secretary. A similar information seminar will be held for students of the University of PNG in Port Moresby. Prime Minister James Marape will be looking to strengthen economic relations between Republic of Korea and Papua New Guinea this week. The Prime Minister traveled to Seoul yesterday to attend the first Korea-Pacific Islands Summit from May 29 to May 30.
Prime Minister James Marape left the country on Saturday, May 23rd, to attend the first Korea-Pacific Islands Summit on May 29 to the 30th in Seoul. He will also be having a bilateral meeting with Korean President Yoon Suk-yeol. This follows last Monday's successful forum for India-Pacific Islands Cooperation or FIPIC Summit, attended by Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi, and the U.S. Pacific Islands Forum Summit, attended by U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken in Port Moresby. The summit will meet to discuss issues of climate change and furthering bilateral relations between Korea and the Pacific nations. Korea PNG trade was worth $1.8 billion or 6.33 billion kina in 2022, a massive 240% increase from 2021, something that PM Marape will be looking to improve on. PM Marape said the big increase in trade between Korea and PNG had now gone unnoticed by his government, and there was room for even more growth. Meantime, Deputy Prime Minister John Rosso will assume the role as acting PM until Marape returns next Thursday. Freddie Moe, TV1 News.
The Prime Minister has encouraged lace manufacturers and those with businesses in agriculture, forestry and fisheries to get into the downstream processing space. PM Marape said the government will be putting up special incentives to encourage companies to produce and export and bring back money into the country. He said these incentives will be announced very soon, within the 6 months before the 2024 budget is brought in. PM Marape made the announcement when recently addressing members of Leh Chamber of Commerce and Industry at a breakfast meeting in Leh. This is TV1 News. After the break, decentralizing PNG EC functions and PNG NRI 2022 election report.
It was during and after COVID that really motivated me to want to take up life insurance. I think savings is very important, and I think One Talk Delight provides a disciplined approach to savings, and it's a good investment to want to think about the future, because it's always nice to have plans for what you want to do later on.
With you for life.
Whether we're playing sport, exercising for fitness, being active for work or play, just having some fun, or just chilling, there is one name we can count on that we know will keep us going strong. Skell Rice. Healthy, nutritious, delicious medium grain rice full of vitamins and minerals. Skell helps us maintain a healthy, active lifestyle so we can enjoy every day.
Skell Rice. Skell Life.
A true champion is measured by their courage, their determination, and their passion to never give up and to always keep trying. With a delicious Milo and milk taste and added nutrients, Milo and milk is a great way to fuel our little champions with nourishing energy every day. Because true champions give it their all.
Milo, PNG and Mia. Prime PNG made.
Our journey starts with you. We'll be there from the start, right through to your life's adventures. We'll ensure comfort and make your safety our priority. We'll take you to memorable moments, no matter where it begins. And we'll get you there like we've always done. The 4th generation coaster bus, more than just a bus.
At TISA, we've been a common thread in the lives of Papua New Guineans for 50 years. Not for profit, not for charity, but for service.
The nation sits on the edge of its collective seat. It can be right. Milhope wins the Origin for Queensland. Hard and make it strong. You're simply the best. Tom Turbo-Trebojevic. Here they go, Tom. Goes to Dearden and a rampaging Valentine Holmes.
Welcome back. If some of the functions of the PNG Electoral Commission are to be decentralized, then the Special Parliamentary Committee on 2022 General Elections will oversee that. Chairman of the committee and East Sepik Governor Alan Bird made this statement after the recent Momase inquiry in Lae. The Special Parliamentary Committee on 2022 General Elections was in Lae early this month to look into the conduct of the general election and how best to improve the processes for the next elections. The predominant issue outlined by all participants were the electoral roll update, or lack of it, and the lack of transparency with election funding that was received by the PNG Electoral Commission. Presenters at the Momase consultation recommended the decentralization of the powers of the Electoral Commission, saying provinces should be in charge of the update of the electoral roll and funding from the national government should go straight into the accounts of the provincial electoral offices. Chairman of the committee and East Sepik Governor Alan Bird said their focus will be on the recommendations in their report, which he will take to Parliament in the next sitting in June.
Once Parliament adopts it, this committee will oversee the implementation of the recommendations. So if there are laws that need to be changed, then it's our job to get those laws drafted, bring them before Parliament, table them, have them passed. If, for example, if we need to restructure the Electoral Commission, then we will make the recommendations and oversee the restructure of the Electoral Commission. If we need to oversee the restructure of the financing arrangements so that we lock it in the time of budget come or province by kissing money straight or something you may discuss it. If we need to make sure that we decentralize the powers of updating the common roll so that the common roll is ready 2 years before the elections. So Ogara Man Mary can, like it becomes a public document. Ogara can look at it. Right now it's a highly secretive document that nobody knows what's happening with it.
Bird said one of the functions of a parliament is to bring greater transparency and accountability around processes, making reference to the 3 branches of government: legislative, executive and judicial. Present at the consultations were the PNG National Research Institute, Institute of National Affairs and Transparency International PNG, who will be helping to finalize the final report for submission. 460 million kina was allocated to the PNG Electoral Commission and the Royal PNG Constabulary for the 2022 national general elections. However, only a small portion was given to the 21 provinces and the autonomous region of Bougainville. Chairman of the Special Parliamentary Committee on 2022 general elections, Alan Bird, has made a commitment to look into how the money was disbursed by these 2 organizations.
Morobe Province, being the largest in terms of landmass and population, received 5.4 million kina from the 460 million kina that was allocated to the PNG Electoral Commission and the Royal PNG Constabulary for the 2022 national general elections. Chairman of the Special Parliamentary Committee on the 2022 general elections, Alan Bird, said NCD and Morobe received the largest chunk of the budget, with Bird outlining that 10 million kina in total was dispersed to these 2. Other provinces received smaller amounts, with Bird wondering where the 450 million kina went to. Speaking at the recent Momase consultations in Lae, Bird said he expected to hear Morobe received 20 million kina to conduct the election, only to find out they had 9 million kina to work with 4.4 million kina coming from the provincial government.
I'm still not satisfied in my own mind how all of that money was spent, such a record amount of money. So I still want to know, and we're going to keep digging until we get to the bottom of it. How do we change the structure of the Electoral Commission so that the outcomes are better? So that's what we are looking at.
From the 460 million kina, Morobe's police received 300,000 kina from the RPNGC, while the provincial government gave 1 million kina. Bird outlined that they had received the same story from all provinces, that only a small amount was allocated for election security operations. He expressed his dissatisfaction with the lack of accountability and said rather than just listening to complaints, the Special Parliamentary Committee on General Elections will look at these solutions. Craig Kaviagu, TVWAN News.
The Papua New Guinea National Research Institute have released an observation report on the national general elections of 2022. The report concludes that the constant shifting of dates and delay in preparing the common roll, polling stations and polling dates cast doubts on the integrity of the elections even if they are conducted properly. The primary role of PNG NRI is to carry out independent research and analysis on a wide range of public policy issues and offer policy prescriptions on how public policy might be developed and carried out in response to different policy challenges. The 2022 election observation study was carried out under the ambit of this role, using an ethnographical approach and focusing on 7 electorates in the Highlands region as cases in point. The report provides an account of what transpired in each electorate during the conduct of the 2022 national general election. The report also highlights the shortcomings affecting the orderly and timely conduct of the elections and then proposes some recommendations for strengthening future elections. The report concludes that the constant shifting of dates and delay in preparing the common roll, polling stations and polling dates cast doubts on the integrity of the elections even if they are conducted properly. In addition, the people of PNG have their own assumptions and bias against the PNG EC, and it is good for the country that elections must be conducted as required by law and on time instead of creating doubts on the integrity of the election process in PNG. The observation report is a contribution by the PNG NRI with the endorsement of the NRI Council to improve future elections in the country. And now, the weather forecast for the next 24 hours. Back home, southern region, isolated showers and thunderstorms with areas of rain scattered over central and Milime province. Mamasen, New Guinea Islands region, scattered showers and isolated thunderstorms. Highlands region, isolated showers with areas of patchy rain, then scattered morning fog. TVWAN News continues when we return. Stay with us.
There's a sense of pride when you're able to do something right, a financial decision that has just really good benefits. With BSP Life Insurance, there's that alleviation of that worry when you pass away. The benefits of the BSP Life Insurance would meet those expenses on behalf of my family. If you're young and you have kids, you owe it to your children to make sure they're not left behind when you pass on.
With you for life.
All One Talks adds some excitement to your festivities with the Flame Easter Bonanza. Win a slice of a whopping 300,000 kina by purchasing the Flame Family Bundle Pack, which includes rice, sugar, flour and vegetable oil, all in one go. Highlight these goodies on your receipt and scribble your full name and contact details on the back and pop it in the entry box in selected stores across PNG. 4 fortnightly draws, 100 winners, 3,000 kina each. You don't want to miss out. This promotion ends on the 31st of May. Flame, strength and energy. Terms and conditions apply.
Hiya, Mama.
You wait then, but me add him special flavor.
Put in more flavor, put in more taste. Magic Kakaru, get up a big smile on face. Time cook him chicken, a great kumutu. Sip, sip, the moo, yes, magic on you.
Maggi, the taste PNG loves.
He says the best Hunters players come from his region. So does she. But there's one thing that brings everyone together. SP Lager, Bunyam Yumi.
At TISA, we've been a common thread in the lives of Papua New Guineans for 50 years. Not for profit, not for charity, but for service.
Welcome back. Croton Laitepo Equity Limited, a landowner company in the Heights PDL7 area of Hela Province, have paid 1.2 million kina to Heights Christian Church's Sustainable Development Fund as its 10% tithes. The check presentation was done in Port Moresby recently by Chairman of Croton Laitepo Equity, Andy Hamaga, to the President of Heights Christian Church's Sustainable Development Fund, Olape Marogo.
After the presentation of the check to the churches in Heights PDL7 area, and the launching of various projects in February 2023, numerous dialogue between all stakeholders to release the funds to the churches. And last Wednesday, Croton Laitepo Equity Limited made the payments to the churches. KLEL Chairman Andy Amaga said the board of KLEL have considered and consistent with Clause 6.40V of the Licensed-Based Sharing Agreement, or LBSA, where it had been agreed that 10% tithes shall be given to the churches within Heights 4 PDL7 area.
We agreed that 10% tithe would be given back to churches. To God, the Creator Himself, because we know that we are created by the man above, and that area was neglected by government by not providing basic services.
The Croton Laitepo Equity Limited had, through its previous leadership arrangement, also paid a sum of 1.5 million kina in the form of infrastructures, development grants and business development grant. President of the Heights Christian Church's Sustainable Development Fund, Inc., Olape Marogo, thanked the board and management of Croton Laitepo Equity Limited for always committed in fulfilling the agreement signed and committed in working with them to serve the people back at home.
So we are guided by the MOA that we have in place. So definitely we'll be looking at youth and women. Youth and women are key components of any church ministry in the country. So they will be taken care of in those allocations that we have.
Meantime, General Manager for KLEL, Lufai Vari, clarified that KLEL will also support the other development projects in the area apart from the churches. Freddie Mo, TVWAN News.
And in sports, Morbe Hammerheads Rugby Union 7's team claims the 2023 SP Sports National Performance of the Year Award ahead of fellow Morbe team, Lane Natives and athlete Benjamin Eliel. This award recognizes a team or an athlete who put up consistent performance throughout the year.
Morobe Hammerheads have been one of the best rugby sevens team in the country for the past few years, but their performance last year in a couple of competitions were exceptional. They appeared in the National Provincial Championship and were the back-to-back champions for the KPHL Super 7 series. When receiving the award, Morobe Hammerheads President Lionel Kamiak expresses his gratitude and thank SP Sports and fans for recognizing the team for the first time. Kamiak will take the award back to Lae for the club and fans to celebrate the achievement. He said it is a history for the club and rugby union in Morobe province. The award will boost the team officials, fans and players to compete smart and hard in the coming competitions.
And I'm so privileged and honored and humbled to accept this award. For the future to come, they will see this award as an achievement for all of us in Morobe. And I'm looking forward to go back and bring this award back to rainy Lae, to all my boys and the hardworking people there, players and officials, so we can move forward to bring bigger and better games coming next season.
The Kumul Petroleum Holding Limited Super 7 Series champions will be working hard in maintaining its status as the back-to-back champions and one of the best rugby union sevens team in the region and country. Club President Lionel Kamiak thanked the coaches, players and fans for their contribution towards supporting the team to this stage where the club is recognized. Meanwhile, Kamiak said the Morobe Hammerheads and Lae Rugby Union competition is in negotiation with the Pepsi Capital Rugby Union in Port Moresby to host a 15th match in Lae. This will be one of the big showdowns between two rugby union competitions. Rex Lita, TV1 Sports.
The Auckland City FC will once again represent the Oceania region in the 2023 FIFA World Club Championship Challenge in Saudi Arabia this December after defeating the courageous Suva FC from Fiji 4-2. This will be the 11th time for the club to represent the Oceania region in the FIFA World Club Challenge. And that ends the news tonight. Have a top week ahead. Bye for now.
The TVWAN News was proudly brought to you by BSP, our bank, our people.